What kind of numbers you hitting over there, man? Get them numbers up, man. Quit holding them hostage.
You never asked. You know me. I'm not on that bullshit. I don't give a fuck. You know what I'm saying? This month, as of the end today, we did 45,000 for the month. Like, was it 44, 45,000?
5 o'clock. Actually, I'm gonna be quick like Nestle and beat it like Michael Jackson. That's why your neighbor said I remind him of Nicolas Cage, because I'm gone in 60 seconds. But watch this right here, Dad. Look, who does this the most on the window? The kids, the dogs that are ugly black guys that eat fried chicken. Now you see these water spots? Look, They get whiter than my elbows without lotion. Watch this, Dad, and I'm out here. Because Stevie Wonder says seeing is believing. And I got a disease called enthusiasm, so I'm gonna cut straight to the mustard. Watch this though. Don't laugh too hard, because the neighbor's gonna see this black kid scrubbing your window, okay? But look, wax on, wax off like Mr. Miyagi. Remember the Karate Kid? Now watch this, the air dry. Look, it puts a coating on your window. No water spots, no fingerprints, no streaks. That's why we can't sell it to criminals. Don't tell OJ or Tiger Woods, okay? High five. They've been loving this stuff.
Hey, what's up, folks? It's me, Sonny T, podcast from marketers.com with another, well, it is a Cry Lopez exclusive, but today we're talking about cold calling. But before we do, you can get me on SoundCloud at Sonny-1-G. Sooner or later, I'm going to give you the URL for that. FunnelHackerPro.com. My Facebook group, Stealthy Millionaire on Instagram. And here on YouTube, if this is embedded somewhere, it's Podcast for Marketers. Billionaire Vids on Snapchat, and without the S, Billionaire Vid on Twitter. And join the 26 or 27,000 other people over there that are like, come on, Sonny, when are you going to say something? So, podcastformarketers.com. Go over there, and you can see I have a little free MP3 player to send out. You have to pay for your shipping. Also, smash that thumbs up if you like the content, man. If you like this video, just smash that thumbs up. The one guy that hits the thumbs down, use your words, man. Comment below and let me know why it sucks. Doesn't matter. I don't care. Right? And then, if you like this video, fucking subscribe to my channel. I got videos every day. Boom. And that's done. So today, folks, we're talking about cold calling. All right, so you heard my partner in the beginning, or maybe I'll play it now. It just depends on whenever it is. You're going to hear it then, or you heard it now, but you heard him say he made $45,000 this month on the phones. That should be enough to make you listen. Now, that's not 1,000 to 10,000 per client, blah, 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 blah. That's $45,000 in 1 month. What could you do with that? Could that change your life a little bit? Now, we're doing that every month like that. You do the math on that, folks. 10 months of that, and what do you got? You got close to $500,000, okay? So, and then you saw Kenny, the door-to-door salesman. And listen, man, people are talking about cold calling is dead. I don't even know why the fuck they're saying that, because they're crazy. Cold calling works. Hey, man, if you do door-to-door sales, right, and you learn how to be a salesperson, you'll never be broke, man. And, like, I've heard people say this, that they don't like the phones. And people that don't like the phones are broke, okay? I love the phones, all right? I don't like them. Obviously, everybody hates cold calling. It sucks. But when I need money, I'm crashing the phones. That's what I call it in my company. Crash the phones, okay? I'm going to crash the phones every time and get on that fucking phone. Now, what I wanted to tell you about also is like the door-to-door salesman. I want you to think of one person now. Think about Mormons, okay? Those guys go door-to-door for 2 years selling religion. You can't beat those guys as salespeople. And I'm going to tell you one that you know about right now. Yeah, you guessed it. Think about that, guys. I'm spelling his name wrong here. I know it. Think about that guy. This guy's a multi-millionaire right now. He's a Mormon guy. They go, you know the guys that ride the bikes with the white shirts on? They go door to door selling religion for 2 years. And look at Russell Brunson. Think about that. Cold calling works, man. Going door to door. You saw the Kenny guy. He says, Jamie Foxx, that's what he did to, become a comedian. When you go door to door, man, and you're doing those sales and you're meeting people, you're learning people, you're talking to people, you're getting practice. 2 years of that, especially while you're young, and you're going to be a beast. It's just you're not going to be able to there's nothing you can do. You won't be able to go anywhere without turning something into money. And it's just how it is, okay? And with the phones, it's the same thing, guys. If you learn how to use the phone and grab them fucking handles, pick them up, and crash the phones, like I tell you to smash that thumbs up. If you crash the phones, I don't care what it is that you're selling. I don't care. Whatever it is that you're selling, you're going to win. All right? But there are some rules to crashing the phones that I wanted to talk to you about, right? I've got a few things typed out because I didn't want to sit here and draw it out the entire time. So let's see if I can find you guys something here. So the first thing I wanted to say was anybody can get on the phone. So who makes cold calls? Startups, sales organizations, direct marketing, network marketers. If you want to go searching for a job, everybody. Look at this. Agents, entertainment, sports, celebrities. Everybody grabs the phones, man. That's what I want to try to tell you. Everybody will crash the phones. And the reason being is because if you listen to a couple of people online, they'll tell you that the dudes that created the phone created it to save time. Now, last week we had a guy said that he would go talk to 20 people face to face every day. And I don't believe him, right? I called him a liar, and I just didn't believe him. Had he said he did that on the phone, I would have believed him. And that's where it really is possible. I can call 20 motherfuckers so fast that 15 minutes it'd be over with, right? Grabbing people, trying to get a hold of somebody. Now, the average person makes 3 to 8 phone calls a day. You need to 10x that. And you know that magic number. You need to be making 100 calls a day, folks, minimum. Now, like I've told you before, I've done that 100 calls before noon. I want to see you do those 100 calls before noon. And in afternoon, I want another 100 calls. Now, this, folks, you can do, okay? You don't need any money to do this. Cold calling is free. Now, that's what your ears should be perked up now, because everybody's always, they don't have any resources. Cold calling is free. I'll say that again. It's free. If you have unlimited service on your house phone or unlimited service on your cell phone or however it works, it's going to end up being free. Okay? And I want to see you dial 200 numbers a day. Now, take those numbers, folks. I'm telling you. Why am I telling you 200? You're like, damn, Sonny, you said 100 because I want you to be twice as better than I am. I want you to be 2 times better than me. That's why I'm telling you to crash 200 phone calls. I want you to be 2 times better than me. If you want to beat me on the phones, you're going to have to dial 200 phone numbers because I'm only going to dial 100 at noon, and then afternoon I'm going to do my follow-ups. I want you to smash 200 calls a day for the first week that you're on the phones, right? 5-day week. That's 1,000 phone calls you've made. 1,000 calls. Now you're talking. You would have talked to 1,000 people. How many leads will you have to call the next week? What, 6%? At least that. At least you'll have more than that, okay? You're going to have like a 20% warm up, right? 30% warm up, and then you're going to have a 6% close. But if you call 1,000 people, you're going to have a 6% close rate, partner. I guarantee you that. But what more than that are you going to have? What are you going to have more of than anything? What's more important? Why, Sonny, what is your reasoning for tell me right now to make 1,000 phone calls a week? Why am I telling you that really? It's for experience. I want you to know your pitch inside and out. I want you to keep doing it over and over and over again. And what are you getting used to? No. You're going to keep hearing it. Not interested. No. And you're going to get all these objections all day long. And sooner or later, you're going to get tired of hearing it. And you're going to start coming up with answers for those objections. Now, I'm not going to go through objections right now because it'll take forever to do that, right? But I wanted to tell you how to prepare yourself for a phone call. See, most people just grab the handle. They didn't write themselves out a pitch, right? So that's the number one thing that you have to know is you have to write your pitch out. And you need it in front of you. Even me, when I get on the phones, even me, when I do my pitches now, when I do my sales videos, when I do my sales pitches, I have the script in front of me. Now, I don't have my script word for word. I kind of do a framework, okay? That's what I do. You probably need it verbatim, and I'm not trying to say that you're any less of a person than I am, but I think that you should read your script 1,000 times. You should read it. And then what's going to happen is you're going to start freaking it yourself, and you'll go to a framework. And then you can just block out ideas that you have for your script. And you can set that in front of you, because what's going to happen is you're going to start learning how to talk to different people differently. So when you call me, and then when you call Nancy, for instance, you're going to talk to her differently. If she's from Mississippi and I'm from California, you're going to learn how to talk to those two people differently. If you've done any traveling, that's always a plus, because that's what I do to get people comfortable. I've traveled all over those United States of America, and I know pretty much every nook and cranny of it. Now, I'll give you an example. The other day, you can look in the group right now, and you'll see a post that I posted on. There's a guy named Richard that posted up, and I saw that he was from Anaheim. And what did I do? I went and said, hey, man, I used to live in Anaheim. Right on the border on Beach and Ball near Knott's Berry Farm. And he was like, wow, that is so close to where I live right now. Right there, that gave me some type of familiarity. I'm saying it fucked up, but it doesn't matter. You know what I'm talking about. I just created some type of common ground between us, right? And I wasn't even trying to sell him anything. It's just what I do. It comes naturally to me, right? It's just, I see there's some type of common ground, and I do that with everybody I'll meet. So somebody tell me they're from a certain place or they've done a certain thing. There was a guy from Ghana that got on the board, and I had been to where he was from, and I named a place that was there. And he's like, oh, wow, you've been all the way to Ghana. Travel is something that I have to my advantage. You will have something else to your advantage if you do your research. So the first thing I wanted to do was talk about your attitude, right? And this is some cornball shit, and I wouldn't say it, but some people need to hear this. So believe that you can sell anyone. Now, this is important for me, right? Believe that you can sell anyone anything. I remember years ago, man, I went to an interview. I was in college, and I was going to try to sell newspaper for a local newspaper. And I didn't even really want the gig at all. And the guy was like, well, what makes you different? I said, man, I can sell anybody anything. But he called me on my shit. I'll never forget. He's like, well, sell me this newspaper, right? And I couldn't do it. And why? Because number 2 here is believe your product is worth 10 times the amount that you're asking for it, right? And you need to know your pitch. You need to know your product. So he caught me, right? He caught me like, well, you can sell anything. Sell me this. Well, I don't know the fucking product, do I? I didn't know anything about it. So I flubbed the pitch, whatever, but I didn't want the job anyways. And I walked away with my tail between my legs. And what I should have told him is, how the fuck can I say this and I don't know what it is? What is it? That's what should have been my answer. And that's what you need to know. Now, this comes back to our customer avatar. You need to know your customer avatar. You need to know who you're calling, why you're calling. And I'll get to that in a moment. Okay? The next thing is you need to know your pitch, though. And that comes in with your 1,000 phone calls. Listen, guys, I'm giving you right now, I'm putting $1 million in your pocket. I'm telling you, that phone is a beast, man. And I don't care what anybody tells you about the phones being dead. They're lying. The phones are alive and well. You just heard my partner talk about he made $45,000. That doesn't sound dead to me. He didn't tell you he made 45 cents. He told you he made $45,000. All right. So now, again, here, treat everybody respectfully and never depend on one call. That's a big one. I see a lot of guys doing that. Sometimes they come to the message or a little group and they say, hey, man, I've got a guy that I might be able to. Man, none of that matters. Keep dialing. I don't care if one guy told you that, oh, man, I could, we could make a deal for $1 million. That shit never happens. It never falls. It never comes through fruition. And it's not going to happen. Just keep dialing. Keep dialing. All right. So now, here's one thing that I wanted to show you about doing your preparation for your call. Okay. So you're going to build your list of people that you're going to call, and you're going to research and investigate the list. This is really important. These things right here are what's going to make you successful. These things that you're seeing right here, these are the things that are going to for sure help you out to take you to the next level. If you investigate the list, okay, and look for those personal connections I just told you about, it's going to help you out tremendously, a lot. So then you're going to build your script out and what you're going to say. You're going to put it in front of you. You're going to anticipate objections, which I'll get to at a whole different time, okay? And now get calling and take your notes. That's important. Take notes while you're talking. If you're on a computer, take notes and always do your follow-ups, because I'm going to say, call me back in tomorrow or whatever. You might not always close the call right then or the appointment right then. So make sure you take good notes. Take good notes. Find out who gatekeepers were. Write down names, times, who are the influencers in the company. You want to take down all of this information so you'll know the next time it pops up that you have to follow up, you'll remind yourself right then, oh, okay, I remember this call. This guy was blah, 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 right? And you'll remember it. And you remember the gatekeeper's name. Hey, Nancy, what's going on? Sonny here, giving a call over here to whatever the guy's name is, Dr. Chance. Oh, hey, what's up? If you can be familiar with Nancy. Oh, hey, what's up, Sonny? Hold on 1 second. I think he's expecting your call. This is what you want to do, man. You want to be fluid with it. That's why I want you to give me those 1,000 phone calls your first week. 1,000 phone calls. Make that your number. If you give me 1,000 phone calls your first week, just keep grabbing that handle. Now, listen, I didn't say you had to complete the calls. You'll hang up on people all the time. As soon as you find out that they're full of shit, hang up on them. But pick up that handle 1,000 times. Pick it up, talk to somebody, hang up. Pick it up, talk to somebody, hang it up. I want you to do that 1,000 times. Say that pitch. Get in the mirror. Say your pitch. Say it in your sleep. Know that pitch. Pitch everybody. Pitch your mom when you see her. Pitch your brothers when you see them. Don't be embarrassed. Pitch everybody. If you do this, you're going to win, folks. I promise you. So, now, let's see what else I have here. All right, so here's another thing that you can do when you make phone calls, and you need to make sure that you do this in this order, okay? So when you finally do call somebody, you want to make sure that you talk to a decision maker. You never want to close anybody that can't make decisions, or at least make the appointment, right? I wouldn't try in the beginning to close on the phone. If you're calling local, get the appointment. Close in person, right? If you're calling globally, then you want to close them. Always be closing. That's the point of the call. The first reason of any cold calling is to close them, right? But if you're local, it would be better to get an appointment, okay? So talk to the decision maker. If you can't, then leave a message. Like if you can talk to the gatekeeper, right? You know, it's Nancy. Hey, Nancy, can I talk to Dr. Chance? He's really busy right now. Hey, could you forward me to his voicemail? You don't want to keep talking to Nancy. You want to be cool with Nancy because Nancy holds the keys, right? But you want to get forwarded through to whoever it is you want to talk to if that's totally possible, right? And then second, you'll go ahead and talk with her. And if you can't get with the gatekeeper, then you talk to an influencer or someone else in the organization. But that's how you want to deal with this, all right? But you always want to be trying to get to the decision maker off the rip, all right? Now, this because I don't really like this kind of thing here, but I didn't want to draw all this stuff out, right? Because it's kind of like, wow, you know, I'd be drawing up, trying to write all this up I'd be scribbling, right? But this way you can kind of screen cap this stuff. So this is what I was talking about before. This is your secondary reason for a cold call. The first one is to straight up close them. Now the second one is if you know that you're not going to be closing right off the bat, you want to identify your decision makers, identify influencers, and you want to determine what's needed to get past these people, right? You create some type of interest when you're talking to them, and you want to get an appointment, right? Make sure you get all of their information. This is all solid stuff that you can find anywhere, but get the information for a follow-up, right? So because a lot of people will hang up the phone and forget to get the address. Like, fuck, right? So make sure that you confirm the address is what you have, right? And Jaden Gross said that in one of his videos that I reviewed. So go check that video out. But he talked about, you know, making sure that you confirm that you do this. And then in your WIP, your work in progress that you're going to have, you're going to move them because you already have some contact with them. You'll move them from cold to warm and add them to your workflow, your pipeline, or whatever, right? So that's the whole reason why you would be doing a cold call. Now, this is the thing, right? This is kind of like what I wanted to talk to you about in the beginning, is that if you do this preparation calling and you treat it professionally, you just don't grab the phone willy-nilly. If you do this preparation and you do your research, calling will be a lot easier. You'll have more to talk about. So, for instance, if you're calling on a chiropractor and you look up his local chiropractic office or his practice, and you find out that maybe he's a coach of a little league baseball team by looking at his social media, or you find out that he runs 5Ks for cancer or something every year or whatever. You can get these little hints and these little things from social media, and you can create a bond with him by even knowing, and people know that you've looked them up, but you can find these things out and get these hints by looking up their social media things. If you get real slick, you can get all of this information from maybe you look at their wife's social media. Maybe it's open, maybe it's not. You got to do the investigation. Look at their Twitter, their personal Twitter accounts. Not the company's Twitter, their personal Twitters. Look at their Instagram accounts. Are they rock climbers? What are they doing? Take the time to look at who you're dealing with. These things will help. And there's nothing wrong with a cold messenger hit. That's another thing I wanted to tell you. This cold calling goes into social media as well. There's nothing wrong with a cold text message or a cold messenger call on Facebook. Hey, Doc, just wanted to give you a holler real quick. Quick question. People do that to me all the time. I'm really good at hey, ask it in the group now. But you can always just, I know it's like a quick question, right? I don't really like that, like quick question, because there's nothing quick about a question, right? So, but you just tell them, hey, Doc, just wanted to holler at you real fast. Do you have 5 minutes? I can give you a call, right here on the messenger. And they might say, yeah. If not, call me on my phone, call me on my cell, whatever the case may be. You can cut into them on Messenger. That's really cool. Or if you have a phone number on them, a cell phone, shooting them with a cold text message, man. You're talking about an 85% chance that you will get the phone call with a pre-touch with a text message, right? So these are all little tricks that you should know. Most numbers that you'll be getting will be cell phone numbers. Check and see. Hit them with a text message first. We used to have this thing that we did back in the day. And in your call center, here's how things are going to look. Now, it's not a big diagram. It's not a huge diagram. But you're going to have your own little personal call center, okay? And you're going to have, these are desks, you're going to have fronters, okay? And then in a decent one, you're going to have qualifiers, okay? However you spell that. And then you're going to have closers. Now, what we used to do with the fronters, and you'll even hear it now, we would have them call and hear a person's voice and then hang up. That's all you had to do. If a human answered the phone and said hello, hang up, then we had the qualifier call, and they were going to open and front. It's a secondary fronter, right? And they're going to front the call. And they're going to warm up. This what they're doing is they're warming them up. If they decide to say, okay, I'm interested in whatever you have going on, then the call is going to go over here to the closer. They're going to say, hey, man, I'm going to have my boss or my the big office or the account manager or whatever name you decide to give yourself. Give yourself a big hat, okay? I'm going to have this person give you a call back. And then when you call up, they're going to tell you like 10 minutes later. They're going to pass you the call 10 minutes later. Now, all this can be done through WhatsApp, Slack, or Skype. We used to do it through Skype back in the day. It's real easy to pass leads right here. So these people can be in different countries. Like we'll have fronters in the Philippines, okay? And then we'll have qualifiers in the U.S. or the U.K. or any English-speaking country. And then here, we're just wherever, man. Sometimes we'd be in Panama. I did this once in the U.K. and France, okay? So you see that you got 3 different countries kind of going on here, right? It doesn't matter because all this can – I say Slack because I've never used it, but I hear that's kind of like what you guys use now for internal company shit. But you can also use WhatsApp, okay? And you can also use Skype. Any messenger service, right? Because like back in the day, we had MSN Messenger and Yahoo Messenger. So any messenger service will work, but these are obviously the ones that everybody will have. Everybody over here may not have Slack, but they'll definitely have WhatsApp. WhatsApp is worldwide now. So WhatsApp is a good one. You can have groups on WhatsApp as well, right? You guys know that's owned by Facebook. They bought them out. So I'm pretty sure we'll start doing ads on WhatsApp soon. That's going to be the bomb when they do that. I'm going to crash that shit. So that's what your call center will look like, okay? So now, if you wanted to do this from the rip after your 1,000 calls, not before, you should do these yourself. Once you do this, you get over here on this end, okay? But in the beginning, you're going to do all 3 stations yourself. If you wanted to do a system, call them and hang up. They're going to answer the phone, put the number over here. They answered. Maybe do 10, right? And then start calling those 10 back to warm them up. And when you know that 2 of them said, all right, cool, I'll talk to you, schedule them for the next day or 20 minutes away. Be like, I have to tell them I have to do something or whatever, or pass them to a friend or whatever, or do that yourself, excuse me. Just give them a few minutes to cool down, okay? I would. Give them a call back. You don't have to, but that's what I do. I want them to sweat a little bit. So give them 10 minutes, give them a call back. Hey, I'm on a call right now. I like to create that scarcity. Hey, man, I'm on a call right now. I can't really talk to you. I got some other people sitting right here in front of me. But let me give you a call back in 10 minutes. Is that number good? 555-12. Okay, this number on my caller ID is good for you? Okay, just hang tight for 10 minutes and I'll call you right back. I'm definitely going to do that. It's just what I do. I've got some guys sitting in my office right now. Can't really chit-chat at the moment. Let me get back with you. That's just me, right? So you don't have to, but give them a call back and just work your little work in progress like this and make sure to take notes. All right, so moving on. Let's get to what you all been waiting for. And we already know you want a script, okay? So let's just go right to it. The cold call. So this is, and use your first name. Don't use like your first and last name. Hey, this is Sonny with whoever you're with. And the reason I'm calling is this. Now, when you talk to the person, so just make sure that I'm not wasting your time. Let me ask you. And you want to start asking them qualifying questions here. I'll give you an example in a second, but this is your script, okay? Now, this is the decision maker part of it. Other than yourself, who would be involved in this decision? In other words, are you the decision maker? Now it says, here it says, would you make time to meet with me later, right? And I go a little bit more aggressive than this, and I just wanted to tell you that, just to kind of leave this. And Neil Patel did this the other day, and I was watching something with Neil Patel, and he was like, hey, this is what I do, but this right here works because he's a little softer. This right here is softer. I'm a little rougher, right? And I say, hey, man, I got 5, 7, and 9 open right now. What's good for you? 5, 7, or 9. I'm going to really, really push forward on that. You know, I'm already kind of assuming that. I'm assuming the sale. I'm going to close right there. I'm always closing. So, you know, hey, what's good for you? 5, 7, or 9? I'm open at 5, 7, and 9. 8 good for you? I never want to say, would you make time to meet me later? Why? Why don't you want to say that? Because here is real easy for them to say no. Right? So I don't like this to do this, right? And even here, do you have a pencil handy? No, right? What do I do? Hey, man, grab a pencil. Grab a pen. You're going to want to write this down. All right, hold on. Let me go grab a pen. That's what you're going to get, right? And so then here's like, is there any reason why you wouldn't be able to show, right? Now, that's a good one to lock down your close right here. That's a good one, okay? And they're, you know, you're hoping they say no there, right? But now here you say, write this down. So you don't go grab a pen. Leave instructions. And in here, would you make time? They're going to say no. Say, hey, man, 5, 7, and 9 is good for me. What's good for you? Is it 7? Was 7 or 8? What time do you get off there? That's what you want to do there, folks. You want to close the deal. Strong closes here. But here's the anatomy of your pitch, okay? This is exactly how you're going to put it together, okay? And so here is, where's your call at? Here's your example of a call. So, hey, this is Joe with XYZ website developer. The reason why I'm calling is there's a strong possibility that my company can show you how to increase your conversion rates on your website by 500%. Now, I want to make sure I'm not wasting your time. So let me ask you, when's the last time you had your website looked at for conversion rates? And then the next one is, if I could use half of what I claim to do and get you higher conversions, would you invest money to increase the conversions on your website? And if I could deliver the kind of results I'm talking about, would you be willing to invest money into your website? Now, other than yourself, who would be involved in the decisions? Anybody else need to get inside this meeting with us? And then here you go. Now, 5, 7, or 9 is good for me tomorrow. And if you're really good, you say right now. Hey, man, I'm good in the next 30 minutes. How are you fit for time right now? What time do you take lunch? You know, really, really, really push that right now. Okay? So if it's tomorrow, cool. But if you can do it now, especially if you're calling early on, hey, man, how's 7 o'clock tonight sound to you, man? I can swoop by later on this evening. You want to kind of just close them up like that. Now, after you do firm it up, sit down. Is there any reason that you wouldn't be able to show up? There's your example right there, guys. Now, I'm not going to really go into a whole bunch more of this, but I wanted to give you an example of what cold calling is and what it can do for you. All right? So again, this is what I need from you. I need 1,000 phone calls and crash them damn phones, man.